Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we have a love it or leave it. We have some mini reviews, some quality updates, some favorites as usual. I try to do a love it or leave it kind of quarterly, but I think I just did one recently, but I had some more stuff that just felt like it was meant to be in a love it or leave it. So here we are. For our mini reviews, we have a review of the Ptula Lost at Sea collection featuring a ton of Bare Pro, which is my favorite. Then we have a couple new releases from some of my favorite affordable brands. So got a little variety for you today. So without further ado, let's get into the mini reviews. So starting off, of course, with the Ptula Lost at Sea collection. You guys, Ptula really said this is my redemption year. I feel like last year I honestly just wasn't really loving a lot of things from Ptula. It was so much Sierra and everything was giving me camel toe. And this year they honestly did a little mini rebrand, but it was more than just rebrand. All their collections I feel like are so much more focused and just giving me the good pieces. So not only do we have Bare Pro, which is one of my favorite fabrics, but they're doing a Bare Pro classic legging and a Bare Pro sculpt legging. So if you want a little elastic up the back rise, or if you don't, if you're just no camel toe for me, but they're also giving us full length built-in bra tanks, only what I've been asking for forever, and full length zip jackets. So I cannot be more excited for this launch. This launch will be happening on Friday, September 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So as usual, you can use my code Kathryn for 10% off. Keep in mind, this is a Friday launch. Brands have been experimenting with weekday launches recently. Let me know what you guys think of that. At least everything's not always on Saturday, but I know for the working girlies, it can be a little hard. All right, we are starting out with the Bare Pro classic leggings. So these are a little bit different than the OG just Bare Pro legging. They were just called the Bare Pro legging. These do have a couple updates, so we'll compare those in a minute. But first of all, I just want to talk about the Bare Pro fabric. So if you've ever tried a soft marled fabric like this, something similar to Aloe Yoga Aloe Soft or Beyond Yoga Space Dye, it's a marled brushed ultra stretchy fabric that just has really good body hugging. That's the best way I would describe it. It just feels like all of your curves are just being nicely hugged. Here is an up close of that fabric. It's very soft to the touch. It has a light marl to it. This is the Bare Pro, so it's a little bit thicker than the original Bare leggings, but I've grown to really like this because again, it just gives it a little bit more compression without being ultra naked feel and just a little bit more durability. Honestly, with any kind of heathered fabric like this, you will probably experience pilling at some point. I will say I have been living in this specific pair of Bare Pro leggings since I got them, and I still haven't actually gotten any pilling, but it just kind of depends if you're doing chafe prone activities. But generally I would say these actually are quite durable. So these are coming in a 23, 26, and 28 inch inseam, which I guess I didn't realize because I got the 26 when I would have gotten the 28, but 26 is still a good length for me. So 3 inseam options. Again, thank you Ptula. They are just on their redemption arc. So these have a double thickness waistband, no front seam. They do have the extended gusset that goes down the leg, no side seam, and then in the back we do have some curved seams. On the classic legging, the Ptula branding is tonal. So you can see here it is tonal coloring. It matches the color of the leggings, which I love. And we just have a regular back rise with no elastics, no scrunches. So going to be very minimally invasive if that's what you're looking for, which honestly I do feel like I'm kind of leaning towards the Bare Pro Classic recently. So quick side by side of the OG Bare Pro versus the Bare Pro Classic leggings. Again, we do have some changes. The biggest change is the rise is just a little bit shorter. It's about a ½ inch shorter, but the actual waistband itself is shorter. So the new waistband is a little bit shorter with a slightly longer area from waistband to gusset, but the old version had a shorter area from waistband to gusset and a longer actual waistband area. We also have a different style of seams. We had the more delicate style seams on the OG Bare Pro, and we have a little bit of a thicker style seam on the Bare Pro Classic leggings. It's still the same fabric and everything, but just a couple little differences. Anyways, let's try these on. All right, guys, these are fitting like a glove. I cannot be happier with how these fit. So I definitely am getting just a little bit more compression, a little bit more hugging compared to the OG Bare Pros. But again, it could be because I've just worn those a lot, but I do kind of think they are just a tad more snug. So not to the point where I would size up, but if you sized down in previous Bare Pro, I probably wouldn't. So we have that high rise waistband. So it hits right at the small of the waist. Love that. Not too overwhelmingly high. Double thickness waistband, no front seam. And then we have the extended gusset. I do feel like their gusset has been just a little too far forward for my liking, but looking in the mirror, I don't see it too much, but just keep in mind the gusset is just a hair far forward, but I'm not getting any crotch tension. These don't have any scrunches or anything. No side seam. Overall, I'm still getting that light to medium compression, but what I love about the Bare is it just kind of hugs every curve really nicely. And even though we don't have a scrunch in the back, you can see I'm getting just some glute contouring because the fabric just hugs the body so well. So we have the seams that curve above the glutes. No scrunch, but medium to high on the booty scale. And another great thing about the Bare and the barepro fabric is because it has that heather, that marl to the fabric, they are very cellulite friendly. They just have a little bit of texture, a little bit of brushness to them, and just tend to be very good for that. We have the tonal branding in the back. Absolutely love that these come in 3 inseams. This is the 26 inch, so it's kind of an ankle length, but they do also come in a 23 and a 28 inch. So I haven't tried on the sculpt yet, but I kind of think these are going to be my favorite. I've always just loved the Bare without any scrunch because it still gives you a little glute boost in the back without any crotch tension. So absolutely love these. Our second and final legging, again, keeping it simple with the launches. Love. We have the barepro sculpt leggings. So these come in a 23 and a 26 inch inseam. The sculpt does not come in the 28 inch. Same size range and I think the same colors though. So we have all the same details that the barepro classic leggings have. Double thickness waistband, no front seam, the slightly thicker style seams as well, extended gusset, no side seams, curved glute seams, and then we have the 2 differences in the back. The first difference is that the Ptula logo is silver. I'm more of a tonal branding girl through and through, so again, 1 extra point for the classic leggings. And then the inside of the legging up the back rise, we have that elastic. This allows for that back seam to just give a little bit more contour, give you a little more cheek separation. It's not super extreme, which is my favorite style of scrunch, honestly, just like a little separation, but not full scrunch where it gets really uncomfortable. Because I know you guys are gonna ask. Also, let me know if I'm overdoing it with the comparisons. I like to compare things before you guys can even ask, but Buff Bunny just launched the Dream Heather leggings, and I said in my Buff Bunny review that barepro was better. I did know that these were coming, so I hope you guys waited, but I will always be a barepro girly through and through. Quick side by side of the Buff Bunny Dream Heather versus the Ptula barepro sculpt leggings. So first of all, they both have a very similar rise. The Buff Bunny was recently updated to the more delicate style seam. So these actually kind of swapped because Ptula used to have the delicate style seam and now they're the thicker seam. Buff Bunny used to have the thicker seam and now it's the more delicate style seam. Buff Bunny has a slight soft V at the front of the waistband. Ptula is straight across. No one has a side seam. And then in the back, I would say that the glute seams on the Buff Bunny are just a little bit more contouring around the glutes, and they both have that elastic up the back rise. Honestly, the structure of these leggings is very similar, but if you feel the fabrics, and I think you can see it in the try on, the way that the barepro hugs the body is just better than the Dream Heather. The Dream Heather just like kind of compresses me in some areas and doesn't really like contour to every curve like the barepro does, and barepro just has absolute maximum stretch and it's just super comfortable, and I do just feel occasionally limited in the Dream Heather. It's really still a stretchy fabric, but if you try the barepro, you know what I mean. So let's try these on. Buddy, what is up, kid? Oh, I know. It's hard. Oh. It's hard being a little boy. It's hard being a little boy. You just need love all the time. I get it. Do we see him? Pinto, look at the cute. Oh, look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Oh, he's the cutest. All right, you guys, we have the barepro sculpt leggings. So very similar to the classic, high rise, fit me perfectly. I would say true to size, but again, runs a little bit smaller than the OG barepro. So if you used to size down, I wouldn't. Otherwise, I do think they are generally true to size. No front seam. The gusset still sits a little bit far forward, and I'm definitely feeling a little bit more crotch tension on this one than the classic. So personally, I do prefer the classic, although these are incredibly flattering on the glutes. Honestly, I reach for a lot of seamless leggings because I feel like those really flatter me best. But honestly, I think Ptula Bare, specifically barepro, is like the most flattering non-seamless legging on me. Like these are just enhancing the glutes without really too much going on. We have the flattering seams. They just aren't squishing me down in the way that I feel like Buff Bunny Dream Heather does. It just hugs all the curves. You're definitely getting really good glute contouring on the sculpt version. Dare I say these are high on the booty scale. I don't normally rate non-seamless leggings high on the booty scale, but I kind of think these deserve it. Get cellulite coverage, light to medium compression. I do still think you get a really flattering look on the glutes with the classic leggings, and with these, it's just a little bit more up the cheeks and a little bit more crotch tension. So if you're not very camel toe prone, I think you're totally safe to get these. For me, I just have really been tired of that, so I'm gonna go with the classics, but I do really like these. They're fitting really well. Full length view, these are the 26 inch inseam. I'm really loving the color, and I honestly just can't wait to wear these. Okay, next we have the leggings in short form. So we are just going to breeze through these. I only got the barepro sculpt shorts. I got a size small and they only come in the 6-inch inseam. Same exact structure as the leggings. I did measure about a 1/2 inch shorter on the rise though. Sometimes shorts just sit up a little bit higher, so they kind of hit about the same area. Panda, what is going on? So we have that double thickness waistband, no front seam. The gusset is extended all the way down the inseam here. 6-inch inseam with a very stretchy thigh seam, curved glute seams, silver branding in the back, and then there is an elastic up the back rise. Quick comparison between the regular barepro shorts, so the OG, versus the barepro sculpt short. Very similar differences compared to the leggings. We have the different style seams. We actually have the same rise height on both of these, but the actual waistband is a little bit shorter on the new barepro sculpt, and it's just a little bit longer from the gusset to the waistband. So just different proportions. And then the back rise is a little bit shorter. That kind of accommodates for the back rise glute seam going a little bit up the cheeks. I will say this could be because I've washed and worn my barepro a lot, but my OG barepros, they do actually feel a little bit softer than the new barepros. The new ones do feel slightly more compressive. So I do feel like sometimes the barepro, the older ones, kind of bordered on, is this Bare 2 or is it barepro? So I would just expect just a tiny bit more compression. Let's try these on. All right, here we are on these sculpt shorts. Again, really loving the slight decrease in the waistband because it's really not super noticeable, but it's just not ultra high now. It still covers the belly button, nice high rise, double thickness waistband, no front seam, and the 6-inch inseam on these. I did wear these for my solid core workout this morning, and I get like a mild amount of crotch tension. Not enough where I would stop wearing them, but if you are nervous about any crotch tension, I would definitely be going for the classics and not the sculpt. I still do really like these and will wear them though, but sometimes for me when a bottom is really bad about the crotch tension, I just never wear it. I will still be reaching for these though. No side seam. Overall, light to medium compression still, and these are quite flattering in the back. Like, these are looking good. We have the curved seams and that elastic that just helps it sit between the glutes a little bit. You do lose a little bit of length on that. These are thick thigh friendly, cellulite friendly as well with the Bare material. I like that the thigh seam is not too loose. They weren't sliding up my entire workout, which I appreciate. That was happening for me on their new Feather Tech shorts. The thigh seam was so loose that they were just kind of sliding up. These have really nice grip, and barepro also shows pretty minimal sweat. If you're like really sweating, it'll show, but actually I have run in my Bare Warmth leggings, which by the way, this new material, a little bit more compressive than OG barepro, but nothing like Bare Warmth, aka Bare Form. Sorry, they have a lot of names. Anyways, I have run in my Bare Form and barely showed any sweat because the marl of this fabric just hides it really well. So yeah, I do really like these, but in the future I'll probably be picking up the classic versus the sculpt. And I did not get these, but there will also be barepro classic shorts. So same as the barepro sculpt shorts, but no elastic up the back. And these will be coming in a 4-inch and a 6-inch option. So they're definitely trying to diversify the lengths a little bit more on the classic versus the pro. Give me a comment down below. Do you gravitate towards things with an elastic up the back rise or without? Like sometimes I feel like it's overdone. I used to be dying for that elastic up the back rise. And now I'm kind of like, bring the basics back, you know? All right, then we also have some sports bras. I will say Ptula also changed their tags. They now have tags that must be cut off. They don't have the little safety pin anymore where you can remove them. So I don't love that because then I have to get my scissors out and it's kind of annoying, but again, like not the end of the world. This is the barepro Racerback Adapt Sports Bra. I got this one in a size small, obviously made of the barepro fabric. This is more aimed towards the smaller cup sizes. I'm curious to see how this works for me because it's definitely a more low coverage option. So we have this kind of scooping neckline, kind of princess style seams over the bust. There is a 1-inch elastic along the bottom for some nice security and tonal Ptula branding front and center, but it is tonal, so it is hard to see. We have tank straps that go into a racer back, but the T-strap from the Racerback is adjustable, so it gives you some adjustability. We do have removable cup pads. Let's try this on. All right, here's a sports bra. So this definitely is more aimed for smaller cup sizes. It's not horrible on me, but I would have preferred a little bit more coverage, but we do have another larger cup size friendly option. So I would say this is true to size. If you're in between, you could really go either way. Nice secure band along the bottom. The logo is in the front here. I love the little seam detail up the front, just gives a little extra shape to the bust. Good armpit coverage and very scooping in the front. So I would consider this low to medium coverage. I think for me, I am safe to wear this to the gym. It is a little bit wider than I would have liked, but I think I can get away with this one at the gym. In general, if you do have a larger cup size, I would be worried about spilling out at the top though. So the other bra is definitely gonna be a little bit better. The support is low to medium on this one. And then we have that really nice T-back. I love that you can adjust the strap back there. I did tighten it a good amount, so that's why it's kind of lifting up in the back, but it's very free to move back here. So this one's cute. The other bra is going to be my personal choice for the launch, but this one is a great choice for these smaller cup sizes. For our more large cup size friendly option, finally, I feel like Ptula, honestly, like all brands, we're kind of leaning more towards the smaller cup sizes lately, mostly Alphalete and Ptula. But I do feel like we actually have a nice coverage bra from Ptula. This time we have the barepro square neck bra made of the barepro fabric. We have this rounded square neckline, really decent coverage along the bust area. We also have that secure elastic along the bottom, narrow racer back, and then the Ptula branding is in the center back, and again it is tonal. So kind of wish I didn't do the silver logoing on the barepro sculpt bottoms because all of the other branding is tonal and it's just a little bit more cohesive, but it just kind of distinguishes the two leggings, I guess. Anyways, let's try it on. All right, you guys, here is the barepro square neck bra. This one, I would say it's true to size, but if you're a smaller cup size, you may find it has a little bit too much space. So just keep that in mind. I would consider this full coverage. I'm getting absolutely no spillage anywhere, no risk of falling out, and the support is solid medium support. We have that nice secure under bust band here. And we will see this in the tank in a second, but I'm not getting any rolling at the neckline here. So really liking how the top of this one fits. We do have removable cups, scoops away from the lats in the back, and then we have that narrow racer back with the Ptula branding at the center back there. Honestly, nothing special about this one, but it's honestly just nice to have a functional bra that I know I'm not gonna fall out of. I actually wore this whole outfit to Solid Core this morning and had absolutely no spillage. It's just a nice, simple bra to match a very functional pair of leggings. So I really like this combo, and yes, these are two different greens. The shorts actually come in this green, but I wanted to do like a little tonal moment. And then you guys, what I have been asking for from like every brand for probably 2 years now, some built-in bra full length tanks. Not like overwhelming full length, I'm talking high hip length. And Ptula has delivered in my favorite Ptula fabric. So could we be having a better day? This is the barepro square neck tank. I got a size small. We have that same rounded square neckline that the sports bra had, as well as that same narrow racer back. The Ptula tonal branding is on the bottom left side. And this does have a full built-in shelf liner with removable cup pads. Underbust elastic should provide some support. I'm really hoping that this fits me well. I'm a little worried that it's not gonna be quite snug along the waist, but if this fits me well, you best believe I will be buying the other colors. So let's try it on. All right, guys, this is literally the top I've wanted for so long. It's perfect. It's almost perfect. There's like two tiny little things, but the way that it's actually so hard to find something like this, first of all, this set together, absolutely love. Like, just look at this. Literally, I just said, I think in my Buff Bunny review, that all I wanted, like every launch, was like a solid sports bra, solid pair of leggings, a full length top, and a jacket. And what did Ptula give? Exactly that. Just amazing. So first of all, coverage on the top is actually really good. I would consider this medium to full coverage. We are in the armpit, but not too much, and not getting any armpit spillage out there, no side boob. We have a scooping neckline, which I would probably consider this full coverage, but there is a little potential for some skin at the top. So we'll go with medium to full coverage. The support is, honestly, it's like a medium support. The length is a high hip length. My ideal length. It just fits you perfectly. Just a little bit of overlap with the legging waistband, not too overwhelmingly long. And it actually fits really well from like certain angles, or if I like go a certain way, maybe I have the tiniest bit of looseness at the hip here. So I'd say if you're in between sizes, I would probably be sizing down. But for the most part, it actually fits really well, which I was nervous about because we've been getting a lot of loose waist areas lately. Then we have the built-in shelf bra, very secure elastic band, removable cups. I do think that Ptula could be using better cup pads. They just are a little bit rigid, but it still works well here. I would definitely consider this a large cup size friendly. We just have the perfect length, the perfect coverage. The one little thing that I don't love is that we are getting that kind of rolling of the seam at the top here a little bit. It's very minor, but that is something that I always just like kind of nitpick on. And then in the back, scoops away from the lats, we have that narrow racer back and nice and flattering in the back as well. I will definitely be going back and getting more colors in this. And you know that means it's good. So this is absolutely a top pick. And lastly, for the barepro, we have the barepro fitted jacket. Again, another thing that I've been asking for, matching sets with leggings, tank tops, and jackets, and they delivered. The only thing they didn't deliver on was some front pockets. Or like, why are we not doing front pockets on jackets anymore? A zip jacket must have zip pockets. That is a requirement for me. So it was definitely a bummer to see that these do not have the pockets that I so desire. I did get a size small in this one. It's a 23-inch length, which is a little bit longer than the tank, which I think is perfect. You can wear the tank underneath and it's not going to peek out the bottom. Full zip up the front, made of the barepro fabric. We have a mock neckline, long sleeves, and we have some amazing cuffs with the horizontal thumb holes. I absolutely love a thumb hole like this because when you put the fabric together, you don't really see it, but then your thumb just pops out right there, and it's super comfortable and just very elegant and sleek. No details on the back except for the tonal branding at the top neck area. So let's try it on. All right, you guys, here we have the jacket. So it's not a snatching fit, but I also wouldn't really call it loose. So starting out with unzipped, I'm just gonna zip it a little ways here. It's not a locking zipper or anything, but it does stay put pretty well. This is kind of how I would wear it. So I like to wear my jackets kind of either under here or all the way up, and even zipping it just right under the bust, you can see it's not just like coming open. The length is perfect. Like, they really cooked with this collection. So it's kind of a mid to high hip, perfect length, just kind of layers over the leggings, but doesn't overwhelm the body, and is still a little bit longer than those tanks. So kind of the perfect length. It definitely needed pockets, but I'm honestly just happy to have a jacket. And then zipping it up all the way, I'm getting a snug fit over the bust. And honestly, I would say body skimming at the bottom. It's not even loose. So if you're in between sizes and you're wanting a snatching fit, I think you could size down. It's a very stretchy fabric, but overall, I would say this is a comfortable fit and I'm happy with it. So true to size. Mock neck collar here. There's really no seam detailing or anything on the jacket. It's very simple. And then we have the cuffs, and they're actually quite long. They start like a couple inches above the wrist, and it is a double thickness of the fabric down there. So maybe it will be a little bit warm, but here's the sleeve when the thumb hole is not in. You can see you can't really even tell it's there. And then when you use the thumb hole, it's just that little horizontal slit there, very comfortable, no seams or anything right against your thumbs. So just maximum comfort there, and then very simple in the back. This one is almost a top pick. If I didn't have this and I were shopping the launch, would I still be picking it up? Yes, because I still just love the three-piece moment, but it definitely is a major detractor for me to not have the pockets. So I really hope they add those in the future. Just wanted to show the jacket over the tank and how it does actually still fit underneath it well. And they're both size small. You can see it like a little bit at the front here, but I would still definitely wear both of these. I plan to wear this whole outfit all together. I think it would kind of disguise that front area if it had pockets though. Okay, our last Ptula pieces. We have the Comfort Fleece hoodie. So I think that the Comfort Fleece is what they've been doing the recent like quarter zips and everything in. And I don't know why brands like to mess with their fleece fabrics, because the Ptula, the favorite hoodie and the favorite joggers, I feel like that's everyone's favorite, as the name would imply. This isn't my favorite material. I do like the style a little bit more than what they were doing before, but this is their 70% cotton, 30% polyester, mid-weight cotton blend fleece. So it is a classic sweatshirt material on the outside and soft fleece on the inside. Here's an up close. The fabric does feel nice. I just really am partial to a sweat fabric with some stretch. I will say with this fabric, it doesn't stretch out or get saggy like I have with like the Buff Bunny threads. It has a little bit more structure and a little bit more weight to it. So we have a very large hood in the back. Overall, it's a very unisex, oversized fit. Long sleeves. We do finally have a little kangaroo pocket. They were doing some hoodies without pockets recently, and I'm not here for that. Something I'm not sure about though is they now have this like brass colored Ptula logo on the sleeve, and I just don't know about that coloring. Again, partial to a tonal logo. So let's try this on. Just another Ptula Comfort fleece item that I'm just not really impressed with. Ptula has two of like the best materials for loungewear of all time. The Sherpa hoodie, which I still wear all the time. In every one of my work vlogs, I'm literally wearing that sweatshirt because it is the best and the favorite hoodie material. So why we're doing this cotton fleece, there's nothing special about it, is beyond me. If I wanted a big hoodie like this, I would just go to the men's section. You guys know I'm just not a big oversized hoodie fan. That's just my personal preference. The material is very soft and it's nice and warm. I just like a little bit of stretch. So the fit is literally over the hip, very large, oversized unisex fit. So definitely size down if you don't want it to super oversized, but it still is going to be a bit oversized. We have that nice cozy hood, which on a sweatshirt, I do like a nice cozy hood. We have a little kangaroo pocket in the front. This material, I know from past launches, it does shed onto your clothes, at least before you wash it once or twice. So I'm probably kind of getting fuzzy on the inside here. So just keep that in mind. Then we have ribbed cuffs and a ribbed hem at the bottom. So yeah, nothing special for me. The fit's just not great. Not loving the fabric. I'm now regretting not getting more Bare instead. Then we have the Comfort Fleece joggers to match. So I got a size small, and these have a 29-inch inseam, but they are a jogger. So I honestly feel like we haven't seen a lot of joggers lately. I'm more of a straight leg pant girly, but there's a time and a place for a jogger. So we have a little cinched hem at the bottom, cinched elastic waistband with an infinity draw cord. So love to see a drawstring. I prefer 2 separate strings, but honestly, I figured out how to tie these, so it's not the end of the world. 2 front drop-in pockets, and then we have that brass logoing again, and nothing in the back, just a classic. You know, when I see a gray sweatpant, I'm gonna get the gray. That's just like, honestly, an automatic for me, so let's try this on. All right, guys, we have the joggers. It's giving oversized, so I knew these were gonna be oversized. Some people did say to size down, and I didn't. So they're definitely a unisex fit. This is definitely the kind of jogger I would wear with the waist rolled down, just to make it a little bit better in the waist area there. If I don't roll them down, they are quite high rise. No real stretch to these, there's just maybe a little bit of give. It's just cotton polyester. We do have pretty good spacious pockets in the front. I don't love the color choice of this logo here. We have that loop drawstring. I said I knew how to tie these, and now I'm thinking maybe I don't. So, don't love it. Full length view, the inseam is 29 inches, which actually is pretty good for me. It's right at the ankles. It turns a little short if I roll them up, so just keep that in mind. Honestly, I'm just not loving these. I don't love the fabric. They're just kind of an oversized baggy fit. There's just nothing special that would really make me want to splurge on these. True to size for an oversized fit, but you could definitely size down. All right. I was considering making a whole video for the Ptula, but we had other things to review that I also want to talk about. So that's why that was kind of a long segment. So now we're moving into some more affordable brands. We have a new piece from Ingia. You guys know I have been absolutely loving Ingia this year. They've launched their Cloudlift scrunch legging, which is one of my all-time favorite Amazon affordable scrunch leggings. They've launched it in a flare version. Unfortunately for me, we only have 1 length. So we may be getting a little bit more fortunate later in the video, we will see, but I will still review these for you guys. So I got a size small, same structure as those Cloudlift scrunch butt leggings that I love. Double thickness waistband. It's made of their Cloudlift fabric, which is a polyamide elastane, and it's kind of like a hybrid between a performance and a brushed legging. It's not super brushed, but it's also not shiny, and it's just giving a little bit more hold and compression than their original leggings. Personally, I'm all about their new Cloudlift versus the Cloud Luxe. That was their OG. It was just a little bit too naked feel for me. I could wear it for like a Pilates yoga class, but for more versatility, I do prefer the Cloudlift. We have a triangle gusset. We have that subtle scrunch in the back with the curved seams. This type of scrunch, it is elasticated and it has a little scrunching when it's not on, but when you wear it, it just all smooths out. And then we have a flare leg. So let's try these on. All right, here we are with the Ingia flares. So we can see they are too short on me. We knew that was happening. So starting out with the top, high rise, hits just about the smallest point of my waist, double thickness waistband, no front seam. One thing that's great about the Ingia scrunch leggings is I have never gotten any crotch tension ever. So still get a little bit flattering in the back, but I never get any problems in the front. About a low to medium compression, just kind of a smooth feel around the leg here. Medium to high on the booty scale, we get those curved seams, the subtle scrunch. It doesn't go completely up the cheeks, it just kind of enhances a little bit in the back. And you will get just a little bit of cellulite coverage, but not full here. It's a little bit thicker than their original fabric, but no marl to it, no pattern or anything to really disguise any cellulite. And then the flare shape. So it's a little bit hard to determine the flare shape since they are too short on me, but I can tell that they definitely flare around the knees. So they're not going to be super fit and flare look where it flares kind of like right above the calf, which is where I kind of like my flares to hit. But the bonus is that they are not clinging to the calves. So they are going to be thick calf friendly. So I do think these are a really nice pair of flare leggings. I just think we really need 3 lengths. Next, it is time that I finally review the CRZ Yoga Secret Sculpt No Front Seam Legging. So I think CRZ Yoga is honestly one of the best Amazon brands. They've been around forever. They have great affordable stuff, and honestly, I've never had a quality issue literally on any of them. Like, the quality is amazing, but the one thing I always complained about was they were clinging to that front seam. And now they finally came out with their no front seam legging. So if you guys didn't know, CRZ Yoga and Ingia, they're kind of sister brands. So these are very, very similar, if not almost identical, to my favorite Ingia Cloudlift sculpt leggings that I was just talking about, except the fabric is slightly different. So actually, let me just compare these for you. So the CRZ Yoga ones are made out of their Butter Lift fabric. So again, a slightly more compressive version of their Butter Luxe, which is kind of meant to be their similar fabric to like a Lululemon Nulu. And they are actually both polyamide lycra blends, but slightly different percentages. All right, here we have the Ingia and here we have the CRZ Yoga. The CRZ Yoga does feel more like a classic brushed legging, and the Ingia has almost a little bit more of a sleek feel, but they both have very similar kind of light to medium compression and very, very high stretch. So I honestly like both of them. I would say if you like a little bit more of a classic brushed feel, I would go for the CRZ Yoga. So honestly, just pick based on the color that you want. So double thickness waistband, no front seam. Ooh, extended gusset. I don't think the Ingias have that. Yes, the Ingia ones actually have a triangle gusset, and the new CRZ Yoga ones have an extended gusset down the leg. So similar, but not exact. Then in the back, we have the curved seams and that subtle scrunch that just adds a little bit of contour to the glutes. So let's try these on. All right, you guys, Peach would like to say hi. Yeah. What are you upset about today? Are you upset that I'm not sitting with you? You guys have seen that she gets very upset when I'm filming because it means I can't be sitting with her. And all she wants is a lap to sit on. Yeah. Please don't bite my toes. There's a high chance she's coming over here. She's literally about to bite my toes. Peach, I knew you were gonna do this to me. Yeah, I'm gonna sit over there. Jeez. All right, guys, here we have the CRZ leggings, nice high rise, double thickness waistband. Something about CRZ is that they don't really do a lot of like tapered waistbands. So if you're a little bit more of an athletic build, a little bit smaller of a difference between your hips and waist, CRZ is going to fit you really well. Personally, I prefer if the waist was just a little bit more compressive here, but they still work for me. No front seam, extended gusset, and we're not seeing it from the front, so love that. But a light to medium compression here, nice soft brushed feel, no side seams, and then in the back, we are getting that little scrunch, medium to high on the booty scale. A little bit of cellulite coverage, similar to the Ingia, just a little bit, but not full coverage. And then these are a 25-inch inseam. I do wish they were maybe a little bit longer. Could probably stretch them down a little bit, but I would love to see them come out with multiple lengths of these because they often do for their other leggings. Our last affordable brand is Unissu, and we have quite a few pieces from them. And again, another brand I feel like is listening to the requests of the people, aka me. I try to speak for the people, so if you guys have requests, leave them down below and I can convey them to these brands. So I was just talking about how I was upset that the Ingia flares only come in one length. What does Unissu do? They give us, off the bat, 3 lengths. Thank you. Thank you, Unissu. Because I don't like to be excluded from cute leggings. And whenever we have a straight leg or flare that only comes one length, as a tall girly, I am excluded. So we have the Unissu Hug Curve, no front seam, high-waisted flare legging. I got a size small tall. They come in a 29.5-inch inseam, 31.5-inch inseam, and 33.5-inch inseam, which should just be the perfect inseam length for me. These do have a little bit of a different shape than the Ingias. We have a slight V at the front of the waistband, so I find that a little bit more flattering. No front seam, triangle gusset, and in the back here we have the curved glute seams but no scrunch. So this is going to be our non-invasive option. They also have a slightly upgraded fabric. I feel like everyone started out with these super lightweight fabrics, like Ingia with the Cloud Luxe, CRZ with the Butter Luxe. Unissu also used to have a very naked feel fabric, which I did wear these, but I definitely kept them again towards my yoga, Pilates, reformer style workouts. But they've now upgraded the fabric and it's got a little bit more weight to it, a little bit more density, and should just be, again, a little bit more of like a light to medium compression rather than a super light compression. So I'm very excited about this change. Let's try these on. All right, here are the flares, and I really like the fit of these. Nice high rise. I just feel like all these affordable brands lately have just been really nailing it with the no front seam. It was hard to find a no front seam affordable brand for a while. Now we have so many. Nice high rise, double thickness waistband. It could be a little bit more compressive on the waist for me, but it's not gaping anywhere. So true to size overall. I like the slight dip down in the front. No front seam, not getting any extra fabric or any crotch tension. And then no side seam on these flares as well, which sometimes it can be hard to find a flare with no side seams. The fabric is about a light to mid weight and about a low to medium compression. We have the curved glute seams in the back, medium high on the booty scale, no scrunches or elastics at the back or anything, just very plain. And then you will get a little bit of cellulite coverage because it's a nice dense fabric. And then the best part is that the length of these It's perfect. So we got short girl and tall girl options here. I love the length on me. These do flare right around the knee. I prefer a slightly lower flare, but I'm just happy that they're not clinging to the calves. So they're also thick calf friendly. I think these are probably the best affordable flare that I've tried in a while because so many affordable brands don't do multiple inseams, and I love the fabric, love the fit. This color brown is just a really nice like wearable neutral. So I would definitely recommend these. And as if you guys didn't have enough hidden scrunch leggings, we now have one from Unissu. So again, honestly, very similar to the Ingia, very similar to the CRZ Yoga. To my knowledge, Unissu is not from the same manufacturer. It doesn't sell from the same place on Amazon. So these are similar, but a little bit different. So we do have that slight V in the waist. That's gonna be one very distinguishing feature of these. No front seam, triangle gusset. These do have a side seam where the Ingia and the CRZ do not. And then in the back, we have a little bit more contouring of glute seams. So a little bit more aggressive with that V contour in the back. And then we have that elasticated little subtle scrunch. The fabric feels very similar to the flares, a little bit more heavyweight, gonna have a little bit more hug to it. So let's try it on. All right, we got the Unissu hidden scrunch leggings, another high rise dip down in the waist. These do have a side seam. Fitting well, no crotch tension. Again, with this style of scrunch, I don't normally get any crotch tension issues. Overall, been a light to medium compression. I do feel like Unissu runs just a hair big. Again, honestly similar to CRZ Yoga, the waist just could be a little bit more tapered. So if you're in between sizes, I'd probably be sizing down. And then we have the back, the curved seams. This is honestly super similar to those CRZ Yoga leggings, except just a little bit more dramatic with the glute seams in the back. Even the fabric is similar. So let me know which one you guys find more flattering, the Unissu with the slightly more curved seams or the CRZ Yoga with the less dramatic of the seams. A little bit of cellulite coverage and a pretty good length on these as well. Not much to say, just a nice, solid, affordable hidden scrunch legging. Oh my gosh, okay. I got a lot of these pieces a while ago. I just haven't had a chance to talk about them yet. So the video was piling up with a lot of things. I had to do a love it or leave it. So Unissu also gave us pocket shorts, which I've been wearing these quite a bit. They are a 5-inch inseam. I do prefer a 6-inch, but 5-inch still works for me. So we have that soft V. Unfortunately, these do collect a little bit of pet fur. I try not to wear dark colors, but I've kind of been wearing these little navy ones. Soft V in the front, no front seam, extended gusset down the thigh, side pockets with a little elastic at the top of the pocket to keep things nice and secure. Then we have our curved glute seams in the back, no scrunch. Let's try them on. All right, guys, we got the pocket shorts. I have been wearing these and really liking them. Again, the only thing is I do prefer a 6-inch inseam just because I have noticed that these can like slide up just a little bit because for me, they're just a hair short, but 5-inch is still a very good inseam for most people. So we have a high rise right at the smallest point of my waist. I love this light V dip down that they do. I love this new material. It's about a medium compression on these pocket shorts. Extended gusset down the thigh. I would say these are thick thigh friendly as well because they still have quite a bit of stretch to the thigh area. And then we have the pocket. I like that it has that little elastic band. This is a feature I often see on more expensive items. So I love that we're seeing it on affordable brands. It just kind of keeps whatever is in your pocket nice and secure so the pocket doesn't flare open or anything. So I can fit my whole phone in this pocket. I've been wearing these a lot on walks. Curved seams in the back, medium to high on the booty scale. Just a nice solid pocket short, which can be hard to find a no front seam pocket short on Amazon. And lastly, we have one new sports bra from them. We have their detachable halter sports bra. So this one has a little bit more coverage than their previous sports bra. We have a rounded neckline, a little elastic along the bottom, removable cups, and it's a halter, but it has the adjustable T-back strap that can be removed. So you can remove this if you just want a halter. Personally, I like to keep these straps and tighten them to take a little bit of strain off my neck, but still have it be very open in the back. Let's try it on. All right, here's the sports bra. I'm actually really glad I tried this one. I almost didn't. I just don't always love halters, but because it has that extra strap, it really changes things. And the original Unissu sports bra, they only have like 1 or 2 sports bras. And the only one that's like not an asymmetrical design is a little bit lower on the coverage. So this one has a lot more coverage. Medium to full coverage. The support is about low to medium. If you're in between sizes, I'd be sizing down, but overall true to size. So you can just tell it's just a hair loose, but not enough for me to size down outright. And then we have the back halter strap, but that little T-strap in the back really just takes the tension off the neck. Very open. So yeah, okay, Unissu with the new designs. I feel like they're really moving in the right direction. All right, you guys, we have made it to the favorites section of the video. We will start at the favorites with an obvious one, but the Alphalete pump shorts, specifically the shorts. I gotta apologize to Christian because I feel like I was a little bit of a hater about these at first. I was like, I wasn't quite getting it, which honestly this happened with the amplifies for me too. At first I wasn't convinced. I thought that the lifting part came up a little bit too high and there wasn't enough room in the glutes. And now that I've worn them and compared them to so many other things, the pump shorts just keep coming out on top. The lift is subtle, but it's not like cutting off your circulation. It's not doing too much shaping, but it really does actually lift the glutes. And I see that now that the lift is actually supposed to come up onto the glutes a little bit, or else it wouldn't actually be lifting them. But honestly, I've been reaching for these so much, especially in this heather gray color, which is probably sold out at this point. But this color, again, I've always had something for heather gray, and I just had to give a little shout out to my pump shorts because when I keep reaching for something, I just know it's something good. So I've been absolutely loving these. Then we have some SPF favorites. So I honestly save a lot of my travel in the year to late summer when all the kids go back to school and I can go places without being heavily trafficked. So I've been out about in the sun a little bit more lately. And I recently had my best friend come out and we did our girls week where we went to Disney and we're just out and about all day. And I needed to reapply my SPF throughout the day without ruining my makeup. And this Naked Sundays, I'd never heard of this brand, but this is the Naked Sundays Hydrating Glow Mist Top-Up Spray. It's a hyaluronic acid SPF 50 spray, and I kind of don't want to do the spray in my house because I don't want to be like inhaling too much of it throughout the day, but it is the most fine mist. You will never get like a big splotch on your face, and it honestly just applies so smoothly over existing makeup and kind of sets your makeup down a little bit. This is just really good, and I will definitely be repurchasing and bringing this on an upcoming trip. And my last favorite, we have the La Roche-Posay Tinted Mineral Sunscreen. This is the SPF 50, and I'd seen people use this, but I wasn't sure about it until I tried it myself. So you guys know I like doing my makeup for my videos. I like doing a full glam look, but I've never really found a good like light tinted moisturizer sunscreen. It just gives me the perfect little tint and actually lasts all day. It's very thin, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Sometimes the like skin tints are actually pretty thick, and that's not what I'm looking for. So I've been loving this stuff. I do wish it came in more shades. I don't even know if it comes in more shades, but it shears out so much that it does work for most like light to medium skin tones. I hope they have a shade for darker skin tones because obviously wouldn't work for any darker skin tones. In the last section of the video, we have our quality updates. Honestly, everything's been doing pretty well. I haven't noticed too many issues, but I did recently wear my little Buff Bunny Halo baby tee to the gym, or not even my Halo, it's the Halo long sleeve tee. And I knew that these fabrics were delicate, but somehow I now have like a pretty large collection of snags all over. Hopefully we can see some of those snags there. And I also have a bigger snag along the side here. And honestly, I'm pretty careful with my stuff. I didn't even have like my lifting gloves anywhere near here, so I'm not sure what snagged them, but just another example of why I prefer the Buff Bunny seamless tops compared to the Halo tees. The fabric just makes more sense for working out, and they are a workout brand. So I just want things to be a little bit more durable. So while these tops are really cute, super comfy and soft, they definitely are not quite durable. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We've made it to the end of the video. Again, at the beginning of the video, we reviewed Ptula, and that is launching on Friday, September 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So set your calendars because it will be in the middle of the day. And again, make sure you use code Kathryn for 10% off. As always, I'll have links to everything down below. If you guys have any video requests or anything, make sure to leave a comment. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!